Hi, the last section in chapter 1 is equivalent rates. So the definition, the two rates are called equivalent on some interval, for example, the T1 to T2. If the both produce the same interest during this time period. So time point, the in between these points doesn't matter, but in total, the two products are on the same interest, same amount of interest, then we say this is equivalent during the T1, T2. So that means if the A1 is the accumulation function for the, so if A1 and A2 be the two interest rates, I mean the two accumulation functions, so this means the A1 of T2 over A1 of T1 is equal to A2 of T2 divided by A2 of T1. So if this equality holds, then we say the A1 and A2 are equivalent. Yeah, and the T1 and the T2 are not necessary if rates are constant. If interest rates, so these two interest rates are constant. So this is a kind of obvious case, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes this interval is clear. For example, T1 is 0 and the T2 is equal to 1. So in such a case, these T1 and T2 may not be explicitly mentioned. Okay, example 1, the find interest, the annual nominal rate I, annual nominal interest rate I, compounded quarterly. So which is equivalent to a nominal rate of 6% compounded every 2 years. So, okay, so two rates. The one is the nominal rate, the 6% compounded every 2 years, and the other is the I compounded quarterly. Okay, so the basically the first one the compounds every quarter, but the second one compounds every 2 years. So the rates are, if both are 6%, the first one is higher outcome, effective rate, but we want to have the equivalent interest rate. So I should be lower than 6%, maybe 5%, or I don't know. So we want to calculate it. So think about the period of 2 years, because the second one is 2 years. Okay, so consider the two-year periods. So since the both rates are constant. Constant case that we can take any interval. Both rates are constant. So the first one, the I compounded, the interest rate I compounded quarterly. So after 2 years, 1 becomes quarterly. So the 1 plus the I over 4 to the 8th power. Okay, so this is the first one. And the second product is 6% compounded every 2 years. So that means actually the 12% for 2 years. So 1 plus the 6% divided by 1/2. or you can just say the 6% times 2. So this should be equal. So that means the 1 plus 4i, sorry, the I over 4 is equal to the 1.12 to the 8th power. Okay. So 8th power, so that is I is equal to 4 times 1.12 to the 8th power minus 1. And if you calculate this in a calculator, this becomes 0.0571 or 5.71%. So if it compounds 8 times in 2 years or quarterly, then 5.71% nominal interest rate becomes equivalent to the 6% compounded every 2 years. So this is the answer.